Respected Principal, CMP Degree College, Convener, Department of Physics, Dr. Rekha Srivastava, Coordinator, DBT Star College Scheme, Dr. Sarita Srivastava. Conveners from different departments of CMP Degree College are invited speakers: Padma Shri Professor S.C. Verma, FNA Professor B.K. Agrawal, Professor Neeraj Mehta, Dr. Jitendra Kumar Mishra, dear students and all the dignitaries present here. A very good morning to all of you. We have connected here through the online platform to be enlightened with the talks of our esteemed speakers in today's seminar, Hands-on Experiment for Undergraduate Physics. Now I invite Convener, Department of Physics, Dr. Sarita Srivastava for welcome address.
Dr. Rekha Srivastava.
Sorry, Dr. Rekha Srivastava, please ma'am.
Very good morning to everyone present here for the inaugural session of one-day online seminar under DBT Star College Scheme on hands-on experiments for undergraduate physics, organized by the Department of Physics, CMP Degree College, University of Allahabad, Prayagraj. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a warm welcome to our Chief Patron, Chaudhry Jitendra Nath Singh, President KP Trust, our speakers, Professor B.K. Agrawal from Department of Physics, University of Allahabad, Padma Shri Professor S.C. Verma from IIT Kanpur, Professor Neeraj Mehta from Department of Physics, Institute of Sciences, BHU, Dr. Jitendra Kumar Mishra from University of Rajasthan. A heartily welcome to our patron, Dr. Brajesh Kumar, Principal CMP Degree College, Convener of this seminar, Dr. Gyan Prakash, Coordinator DBT, Dr. Sarita Srivastava, and Co-Coordinator DBT, Dr. Rakesh Kumar, as well as all the conveners and faculty of the other departments, all the professors and my fellow colleagues present here. I also welcome my dear students and non-teaching staff of the department. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. There's a famous proverb, seeing is believing. I invite the convener of the seminar, Dr. Gyan Prakash, to throw a light on the theme of today's seminar. Dr. Gyan Prakash, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, a very good morning to all of you, and especially to our respected guest speakers, Professor B.K. Agrawal sir, Padma Shri Professor S.C. Verma sir, Professor Neeraj Mehta sir, and Jitendra Kumar Mishra from University of Rajasthan, Principal sir, Dr. Brajesh Kumar ji, Dr. Sarita Srivastava, Coordinator DBT, other dignitaries present here, conveners and faculty members of different departments, and dear students. We are assembled here on this online platform for a seminar titled Hands-on Experiments for Undergraduate Physics. A natural question comes to our mind: why a seminar on this topic? So I want to tell that we have planned this seminar with a purpose. And the purpose is to underline the importance of experiment in the study of physics or any other branch of science in the students. We all know that only teaching the theoretical physics will not be of much use. The experiments gives a feel of the subject, and the experiments validates the concepts of theories, and they validates the theory also. For example, a small example I want to give. The de Broglie suggested the wave nature of matter in 1924, but it was a theoretical juncture till we got the experimental evidence of this in 1927. And after that, it was established that yes, electron has a wave nature because it is a concrete proof of this. So this is the importance of the experiment. And after that, we all know that this phenomena of wave nature of electron we have used anywhere in electron microscope and X-ray diffraction, etc. So the experimental evidence of anything gives a feel and the validation to the theoretical concepts. The importance of the experiment can also be understood by the following saying of Confucius: I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, and I do, I understand. So when I hands on some experiment, so then I understand the subject. So this is the importance of the experiments. That's why on this purpose, we have planned this seminar. In lower classes, we have also a book which says that विज्ञान आओ करके सीखें. हमने ये नहीं कहा विज्ञान आओ पढ़ के सीखें. So this has a purpose that विज्ञान आओ करके सीखें. लेकिन बहुत उसके साथ कहना पड़ता है कि लोअर क्लासेस में वो आओ करके सीखे का पार्ट पीछे छूटता जा रहा है. सिर्फ हमने थ्योरेटिकल कॉन्सेप्ट बच्चों को पढ़ाया, जो बेसिक थ्योरेटिकल फीलिंग है. बच्चे वर्नियर कैलिपर्स, स्क्रू गेज जैसा सिंपल इंस्ट्रूमेंट भी यूज करने में डिफिकल्टी फील करते हैं. तो इसलिए हम आज इस सेमिनार के माध्यम से ये एक बच्चों में एम्फेसिस करना चाहते हैं कि द एक्सपेरिमेंट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू द स्टडीज. एंड फॉर दिस एम वी हैव प्लान्ड दिस सेमिनार, and this will be the small step towards achieving this. And we have a very eminent speaker, Professor B.K. Agrawal sir, who is a very much support of this experimental physics. So I hope that he will, when you will student, you will listen him and you will be benefited a lot. And once again, I welcome you all to this seminar and to listen to the eminent speakers in the later session also. So thank you all, and I rest myself here.
Thank you, sir. As our principal, Dr. Brijesh Kumar is not available here due to some unavoidable reasons, I read his blessings for this seminar. The blessings are: it is a great pleasure for me that Department of Physics, CMP College is organizing today an online seminar, hands-on experiment for undergraduate physics. We are privileged that among our speakers, we have Padma Shri Professor S.C. Verma from IIT Kanpur, Professor B.K. Agrawal, FNA, and Emeritus Professor, Allahabad University, Professor Neeraj Mehta, Banaras Hindu University, and Professor Jitendra Kumar Mishra, University of Rajasthan. In the present COVID era, this seminar will be quite beneficial for our students as they have been away from the experimental learning for the past 2 years. I am sure that you will feel enriched with knowledge after completion of this seminar. I welcome you all once again to this seminar and hope that you will have a great time ahead. I wish this seminar a great success. I thank you, our principal sir, for his words of blessings. Definitely, audience will take away a lot many things after completion of this seminar. Now, I invite Dr. Sarita Srivastav, Coordinator, DBT Star College Scheme, to give a brief introduction of DBT Star College Scheme program. Ma'am? Sarita ma'am, are you here?
Rohit sir, is there any update? She has joined?
नहीं सर, अभी तक तो वो नहीं दिख रहे हैं.
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. मैडम, we can go move ahead. रेखा मैडम को इनवाइट कर लीजिए और
ओके सर, ओके
सर. राकेश सर होंगे शायद को कोऑर्डिनेटर सर. एक मिनट, सरिता मैम का फोन है.
अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक, देख लीजिए. I think we have to wait. He has connected already. Let him convert it to the panelist.
Okay.
उन्होंने ज्वाइन किया है बट उनका ऑडियो नहीं आ रहा है और रेज हैंड नहीं आ रहा है, तो वो दोबारा ज्वाइन कर रही हैं।
अच्छा ठीक है,
हाँ,
ठीक
तो
है, ठीक है, वेट फॉर अ मिनट, वेट फॉर अ मिनट, लेट हर ज्वाइन. Perhaps you have joined, but conversion is left to panelist. Otherwise, she will not be able to present. रोहित जी लगातार कांटेक्ट में हैं.
Hello.
Yeah, Sarita ma'am has joined just now.
Okay.
I will invite Dr. Sarita Srivastava, coordinator, DBT Star College scheme, to give a brief introduction of DBT Star College program.
Thank you so much.
Sarita, please.
Thank you so much, sir. Just a minute. Let me just. There are some issues in. Let me just. Yeah. So, am I audible? I
Yeah, ma'am.
apologize for my late entry. Actually, there was some network issues with my computer, and I could not join you earlier. Anyways.
Most welcome, madam. Most welcome.
Yeah, sorry, it's really,
Okay.
I'm sorry. A very warm welcome and a very good morning to our honored chief guest on the occasion, Professor B.K. Agarwal, University of Allahabad. Our honored guest, Padam Shri, Professor H.C. Verma, Department of Physics, IIT Kanpur. Honorable guest speaker, Professor Neeraj Mehta, Department of Physics, BHU Varanasi, and Dr. Jitendra Kumar Mishra, Department of Physics, University of Rajasthan. Distinguished guests and respected faculty members of sister colleges and CMP College, and my dear students. It is indeed a very warm and cozy morning as this online platform is studded with an arena of academicians par excellence. And I welcome you all to this August gathering and congratulate Department of Physics for organizing this one-day hands-on experiments for undergraduate students. The efforts of Department of Physics to strengthen the DBT Star College program is a praiseworthy one, and our students, especially the undergraduate ones, are the beneficiaries, which is indeed in accordance with the mandate of DBT Star College scheme. In fact, this scheme has been initiated by DBT in 2008 by MHRD to support colleges and universities offering undergraduate education and also to improve science teaching across the country. DBT has launched this program for improving critical thinking and hands-on experimental work at undergraduate level in for science students. So this program is expected to encourage more students to take up higher education in science and step into research field. In this program, DBT identifies colleges with ambitions and potentials for excellence and provides financial support to enhance academic and physical infrastructure for achieving excellence in teaching by unique exposure to the students to the experimental science. And DBT, in fact, has supported around more than 200 undergraduate colleges across the countries in past 12 years. They have a mentoring task force for providing support to the colleges to how to run the projects. And we are indeed very fortunate to receive this DBT Star College project, which is a very prestigious project initiated by the MHRD in New Delhi. And the Star College scheme basically aims at strengthening the undergraduate teaching and research in the colleges. And our college was selected for this special grant in the year December 2019. And we received a financial support of rupees 85 lakhs in February 2020 to strengthen the undergraduate teaching and research in our 4 science departments, visually botany, chemistry, physics, and zoology. And as most of us know, and this is to introduce to our speakers and the guests, that CMP Degree College is one of the oldest and biggest constituent college of University of Allahabad. And we are here to serve quality education since 1950. And presently, we have approximately 10,000 students from Allahabad and adjoining areas. This project is indeed a boon for us, as we are able to enrich our laboratories from the latest in modern instruments and introduce some new experiments which were otherwise not possible due to paucity of funds. Even in this pandemic outbreak, when offline programs could not be conducted, we have maintained some online programs, and we have conducted some of the online quiz programs and other different programs under the aegis of DBT Star College scheme. And we have a benefit from that. Our undergraduate students have benefited a lot. And however, online programs are nevertheless, as we get opportunity to listen to very good speakers from different parts of the country and also from abroad. So we can count it as a blessing disguise, as we don't have, we won't be able to, otherwise possible to invite such eminent speaker to this platform if it would have been offline. Anyways, with the DBT Star College in future also, we will be able to invite some offline programs also, maybe. And so I believe every situation in life, even in pandemic, is an opportunity if you realize and utilizes it positively with full enthusiasm and believe in God. He has chalked some good programs for us, and he had some plans for us. And with this, my best wishes to the Department of Physics for conducting this one-day program. And also I request my students to be supportive in the program throughout the day, because managing a huge number is a challenging job for teachers. So my best wishes, and with this I pause my. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite Dr. Rekha Srivastava, convener, Department of Physics, to give a brief introduction of our speaker for this inaugural session, Professor B.K. Agrawal. Rekha ma'am, please.
Thank you, Sangeeta ma'am. It is a great honor for me to pronounce that today we are joined by a person who hardly needs an introduction, Professor B.K. Agrawal from Department of Physics, University of Allahabad. Professor Agrawal has obtained MSc, DPhil and DSc degree from Allahabad University. He was head of Department of Physics of Allahabad University during 1995 to 1999 and started a new special course in condensed matter physics for MSc final year students in 1995. Professor Agrawal has published more than 200 research papers, published more than 55 in Physical Review and Physical Review Letters. He was awarded Fellowship of INSA, FNA, New Delhi in 1988 on the work done at Allahabad University. He was awarded Fellowship of National Academy of Sciences, India, FNASC. From Professor Agrawal was chairman of DST Inspire Faculty Program Selection Committee for Material Sciences. He has worked on almost all the physical properties of different types of solids containing point, line, and surface defects. He has predicted high values of TCs in various types of superconductors, oxides, fullerenes, etc. Professor Agrawal has studied and predicted various physical properties of nanodots, nanofilms, and carbon nanotubes. He has shown water flow through small diameter carbon nanotubes, which is useful for water filtering and biological applications. Professor Agrawal has predicted gap in graphene deposited on SiC substrate in conformity with the experiment. He has recently predicted giant magnetism in punched graphene zigzag edge triangular nanodisc for generation of magnetic storage and quantum bits for quantum computers. We are really very blessed to have you, sir, with us on this auspicious day. Now I invite Dr. B.K. Agrawal, sir, for keynote address. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Srivastava, for kind words. As all of us, all of you are younger to me, and I may just call dear colleagues and my dear students. I am very happy to be invited here and share my ideas with the undergraduate students. I am also congratulate DBT for supporting the undergraduate teaching. I believe that it will help most of the colleges. Experiments with, as told my earlier speakers, experiments means you do something. In theory, you study what are these, say, capacitors, resistances, inductance, all components, and if you want to create something, in theory you may be told that it will happen like that. But once, anytime, if you are asked to create some circuit, you have to go to know all these components. Otherwise, you cannot create anything in practice, in life. And all our efforts are to create new things which may be helpful to the general mass, to the world. And so our aim is to create new things. And that cannot be done unless you are clear in the ideas. If you do not understand the principles, underlying principle, you cannot do anything. You may cram things, you can have all your crammed material on your notebooks in the examinations and can get good marks. But that is not going to help us. The society needs its application. And you cannot do that unless you are clear in ideas. We do experiments. I, as a teacher, I have been teaching in Allahabad University since 1961 as a lecturer. And for so many years, you can say 60 years, more than 60 years I've been teaching. And I have come across with many types of students. Students come to BSc part 1, then MSc previous, and then research. And I find that the physics which they have learned, they have not gone in deeply into that. They know it, but they do not clearly understand it. And this is the problem of our country. In outside India, in America, Europe, I have visited all the places, many of the places in Europe and America. I find that the general understanding, clarity of the subject is good in these countries. And that's why they go ahead. We are not so successful in creating new things. So this clarity, how it can be achieved? Unless we do experiment. Unless you have experiments, you have theory. I will give some of the examples that perhaps we do not give a thinking or do not care for, even for small things. Just I am giving an example. We have a convex lens and we see something written on paper and we want to see what is written on the paper. Then we have to move the convex lens to see those writing. That writing clearly we have to move the lens, convex lens. Why? In most cases, if you ask where is the image of the writing which you are looking at which place its image is being formed, you will find the answer is that the object or the writing lies on the focus of the convex lens. Now, is it correct? Please think over. I am asking you, all my audience. We know that when we look anything, then when we look that point, when we see things very clearly, we know that if there is an object and that object is at infinity, it is not clear. If it is clear, why we need telescope? By telescope, we see things clearly. So, if something is at infinity, it's not clear. If we put it just very near to our eyes, again, it is not clear. So, we know that there is least distance of this thing to vision. Around 25 centimeters away from the eye, where if something is there, it is seen more clearly. Now what happens? When an object is at infinity, the angle subtended by this object is very small, and therefore the eye cannot see its details. if we put that object just very near to the eye, again it is blurred. So unless you put that object at this distance of this vision, it will not be clear. So our effort is, if we want to see things clearly, our effort is to make the image at least distance of this thing. So when we adjust the lens, what we do, we form the thing is clear when the image is formed at a least distance of this thing. In most cases, the answer is that object is at focus. That is wrong. Now we use telescopes, microscope, as so the telescope for observing distant objects, microscope near objects. What we are doing? The point is, our eye will see things clearly when the angle subtended by the object is large, bigger. And that object should be formed at this distance of distinct vision. So when the object is at this distance of vision and the angle subtended by that object is small, it will not be clear to our retina. But if the angle is large, we see the things clearly. We do it by telescope. What we are doing? The object which is at infinity, that object we form it our least distance of vision with large angle, so we can see clearly. The same is true from microscope. So in microscope and telescope both have eyepieces, and these eyepieces actually it is already set in most of the cases, but we have to set it because the eyepiece again it forms the image of the object at our least distance of vision. Only then the object we will see will be clear. Or if there is a wire, that will be clear. When the image of the wire or the object is made at the least distance of this thing. So I am just giving you a very small. In most of the cases, people say that the object is at the focus. That is not correct. So I am giving you one of the examples. Similarly, very small in intermediate classes, we teach law of flotation. Now, when something floats on the liquid, in many cases it floats. In some cases, it goes into the liquid. We say that, oh yes, because it is heavy, it is inside. The arc-reversing principle, we do not understand clearly. Whenever anybody, it floats, how much it is dipped in the liquid, in the water, it is not clear. The students, you have told the student, and maybe many of my colleagues. So, because now people ask me, in America, I have my son, and I was just discussing things with my grandson who is studying physics. Then I put a question. Why? We know the question is answered that we know that this iron solid, it dips. If we put it, solid iron, it goes inside the water, liquid or water. But the ship made of iron, it floats. Or if come to a practical example here, if we have a ball of metal, iron, hollow ball, not solid, hollow ball. It will float. Now this, if you clear the idea why it is happening, then the student and ourselves can understand what is happening. We know that according to Carnot principle that there is a thrust. We call it thrust applied by the displaced liquid. Thrust by the displaced liquid, and that thrust is equal to the mass of that displaced liquid. So, in equilibrium, the mass of the body should be equalized by the thrust of the same mass. And that will determine how much a body dips or doesn't dip. If this happens for iron, it just goes down. For wood, we know that, or in the ship, there is hollow, and the density of the hollow ship is smaller than the water because of the hollow space. So it floats. So I'm just giving you some of the things. So this is the one, some of things. Many things I find just in electromagnetic waves of the students, they learn and they now study electromagnetic waves in intermediate. I've seen, and most cases, what is light? Is it not clear? What is light? The answer is vague. And we know that this is electromagnetic wave. We know that the electromagnetic wave, where electric field and magnetic field, they oscillate, they vary perpendicular to the direction of its propagation. And this electromagnetic wave, we work with it in every field of our life. When the frequency range is from 4,000 to 7,000 angstrom, then that light, the electromagnetic wave, when it falls on our eye, our retina responds, and we can see things. But electromagnetic waves of different wavelengths of frequency, the eye cannot detect. There are electromagnetic waves which have wavelengths in the infrared region. We know that when electromagnetic waves from a heater coming, now suppose you do not look at the heater, but the radiations is coming, the heat radiations we call them. Now these radiations, they are electromagnetic waves. So our body feels them, and we call them the infrared rays, our body is affected. And though that electromagnetic wave, when we decrease the frequency, we can't know nothing, we can't detect, we have to use some other method to detect them. In mobiles, which is in our pocket, the communication, how you are getting, you are seeing picture, you are talking, you are busy, this whatever we are doing just now. Electromagnetic waves of larger wavelengths. So similarly, if you increase the energy of the waves, X-rays, they penetrate through our body. So the electromagnetic waves have different properties if you change their direction, their frequency. So I find that we do not discuss these things with the student. If you ask any student, is there any difference between the light coming from a light source and the heat coming from a heat source? He will say, yes, sir, that is light wave and that is heat wave. There is nothing common in between. So this we have to keep things in our experiments. When the students perform experiments, we have to teach them. We have to make these ideas clear. I find most of the places it is very difficult to explain interference, polarization. In the university, I find, unless you do experiments when you see fringes, Newton's ring. When we see fringes, they are experiment. When you see, then you can understand what is this interference. So we have to go to experiment and look at them, why it is happening. And when we do experiment, we should be clear all the components which we are using while performing the student experiment. Otherwise, it is useless. I have found, for example, I am giving a very small example. Rheostat. We change the resistance. And now we correct it properly. And how the current is passing through it and how the resistance created by rheostat is changing. We don't care for it. The students should understand it. They must. We are using cathode ray oscillograph in many of the CRO. We are not clear what is there. So my point is that when we perform experiment, we should know all details of the parts which we are using. Only then you will understand physics. Wearing, taking this, looking at them, taking observations, it will not help. You must know what we are doing. Only then we can create new experiment, new type of experiment. For example, I have an experiment in MSc previous lab. We have experiments which are not available in India. Persons who have done experiment in MSc previous physics laboratory in Allahabad University, like optical properties part, X-adverter fringes, Lee's method, Fabry-Perot. These experiments, they are not available in India. I have seen examples of, I have seen the labs of Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. I was an expert there for a UC program, and I find that these type of experiments which make physics clear, they are not available. So we have to be clear all these experiments. We are not able. Now I'm sorry. Perhaps I don't know what is the time. If you are worried about the time, so please I may finish it. Otherwise, I can tell you something about interference and polarization. The convener, please tell me.
Sir, 10 minutes are remaining.
10 minutes. Thank you. I will try to expose myself to you and your students.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
सर थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी बोलिए तो बच्चों को थोड़ा समझ में आएगा.
मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि आप सब अंग्रेजी में बोले थे. आप कहते कि डॉक्टर साहब को अंग्रेजी आती ही नहीं है. अच्छा, अब मैं चलिए हिंदी बोलता.
अच्छा सर, थैंक यू सर.
मैं देखिए, अब मैं कोशिश करता हूँ एक आपको स्लाइड दिखाने की. मैं इसलिए कि लोगों को उसकी आइडियाज नहीं है। मैं इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव थ्योरी को थोड़ा सा वेव्स के नेचर पर बोलना चाहता हूँ। तो आई हैव टू शेयर, लेट मी ट्राई। Can you see things?
No, sir, not now.
No?
No, sir.
Oh. Maybe that I have to do something by sharing. Is there something?
No, sir.
No. All right. So let me, I tried. Share.
Sir, in the screen, there is a share screen button, sir.
I have done it,
Achha.
but not successful. All right.
Share, and then it is a doc file. The option
All
will
right.
be there.
Let me see what. Yes, I have gone to share,
Ji.
and there is a. I think this is a screen of this Zoom screen coming here. Now we have to click it so that
Sir, you have a file or a what photograph? What you have to share, sir?
a file.
So there is a written file on the share option. There is 3-4 option file,
Oh,
and then you can click file,
yes.
and then go to that file and click it.
Hmm. Share sound. I am seeing it. Share. Let me see here. It
Yes,
may
sir.
work.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is Zoom.
Is it there? Not yet.
So your screen is coming, but not the required document. Let you first open the document on the screen.
Document, हाँ, open करिए sir. Document open कर दीजिए.
I have opened the document on my screen. Now
सर
here
आपकी स्क्रीन पे एक जूम डेमो करके आ रहा है, वो दिखाई दे रहा है, उसको आप मिनिमाइज करिए और जो स्क्रीन आपको शेयर करना है उसको ओपन कर लीजिए.
अच्छा, इसको मिनिमाइज कर दें.
हाँ, इसको मिनिमाइज करिए. सर टॉप राइट कॉर्नर पे है मिनिमाइज, देखिए. हाँ, और ऊपर जाके और साइड में लेफ्ट हैंड साइड पे
कर दिया आपने. जॉन ए लाइव डेमो.
इसे क्रॉस कर दीजिए. अभी भी स्क्रीन पर इसको आप क्रॉस कर दीजिए. सर ये जूम वाली फाइल आ रही है, इसको क्रॉस कर दीजिए आप.
आई फाइंड दैट जॉइन ए लाइव जूम डेमो.
नहीं सर, ये नहीं, इसको आप क्रॉस करिए.
इसको क्रॉस कर दें.
जी. सर राइट मोस्ट टॉप कॉर्नर पे क्रॉस का बटन है.
नहीं, क्रॉस का बटन नहीं दिख रहा इसमें. दैट इज ए प्रॉब्लम.
सर आपका कर्सर दिखाई दे रहा है, आप दाहिनी ओर सबसे ऊपर जाइए, वहां पे क्रॉस का है बटन.
सर इसी लाइन पे सबसे ऊपर जाइए.
हाँ, मैं ऊपर गया.
हाँ, तो ऊपर क्रॉस बना हुआ है सर. एक्स बना हुआ ऊपर, क्रॉस बना हुआ है ऊपर कॉर्नर पे बिल्कुल. और ऊपर जाइए.
सर देखिए आपकी स्क्रीन पे ये पोस्ट अटेंडी करके एक आ रहा है ना. उसको क्रॉस करिए।
और
नहीं आ रहा है, सॉरी।
रेड रंग का क्रॉस बटन है।
स्टॉप शेयर है।
नहीं,
Let me first do that.
Yes.
ओके सर।
All right, let me start. I just some minutes. I know that the wave, the electromagnetic wave, for example, now because it has fluctuating or varying electric and magnetic fields, now we can represent. We know that in the electromagnetic wave, the electric vector, it affects our eye. We see because of the variation of the electric vector, not the magnetic vector. And it has been done experimentally, verified. So the electric vector is the optical vector through which we see, our eyes see things. Now this electric field, suppose we write down as a wave equation, E is equal to, say, amplitude E0, and then we can write sine omega t minus kx in single direction. Now, the quantity under sine, we know that this is an angle. We call it phase angle. Phase angle is nothing but the quantity inside sine, the sine of that angle. We know that we take the sine of an angle. So that the quantity under sine, that is an angle, and we call it phase angle. Now, what happens that we are concerned with the coherence. Now, if we come to coherence, we know that when the light is coming to us, that phase angle is changing. After, say, if it is light coming from the emission of from an atom, when the electron comes from higher state to lower state, the emission for about 10 to the power minus 8 seconds. So the length of the wave emitted by this transmission is about 3 meters. And the wave is coherent only for this coherence length, 3 meters. There is another wave, it has different phase. So when we have a light from any source, it is always incoherent. But in laser, we make it coherent. How we do it? What we do it, we make a cavity bead that the light remains inside, and when we like, we can take it out. Now, when we have atoms and we excite them by an external source, and these electrons, the atoms are excited, the electrons go to higher state and they come to low state emitting electromagnetic radiation, or different in different phases. What happens in laser? What we do, that we increase the population, the number of electrons in the lower states, we increase the number in the higher state. N1 is greater than N. The number of electrons in the higher state is larger than the number of electrons in the lower state. And emission we take. Now in this emission there are two parts. One is spontaneous emission, this is stimulated emission. The spontaneous emission, there is no phase, there is no phase, you can say, control. What in the coherent radiation, the phase is there. The phase is there, which is same. Now, what happens when we have many emissions? Then there is a radiation present in the cavity of that frequency, which is equal to H omega is equal to the energy difference between T2 to 11. So when the coherent radiation is there, when it emits, its coherence, its phase is the same as the radiation present in the cavity. So that is in phase. So it adds up. And in this way, the coherent radiation increases. And we can have a laser beam outside, which has coherence for a long length. The length for which its coherence is kilometers. And its frequency width is very small. And its power is very high because of stimulated emission. The coherent radiation, which is there from higher state to lower state, is in phase with the coherent radiation present in the cavity, and therefore it multiplies. And the intensity, the amplitude of the emitted radiation very large. And so we create a coherent light wave called laser, which have so many applications. So I have just tried to give you some of the examples where people, I believe, do not give proper thinking, they do not care. Perhaps I may be able to just create some anxiety in you to look into them, because unless you think over the subject, things are not clear. And that is needed for the students so that they will be well trained. They will have innovative ideas and they can create new things in the future. Right. Again, thank you all for this opportunity and for having this seminar, webinar, and I am very happy that you have done it. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for being with us today in this inaugural session. And now I invite Dr. S.C. Yadav to propose formal vote of thanks.
Ma'am, there is a question.
Dr. S.C. Yadav, it is
yes.
over to you.
I will like to have a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, a student is asking, what is pointing accuracy of telescope?
What is the?
Pointing accuracy of telescope.
Pointing accuracy, what do you know that? What is pointing accuracy? I don't know. Pointing accuracy.
Okay.
You know the magnification. You know magnification.
Yes.
F upon, approximately capital F upon small, or 1 plus D upon F. In finally. So that is a magnification. Pointing accuracy has no meaning for me. I don't know from where this word has come. I have never heard of it. Please explain me if you can tell me.
Okay. Anurag, any other question do you have?
Yes, I will like.
Students, any other question do you have? So if there is no question, then Sangeeta ma'am or S.C. Yadav sir, please.
S.C. Yadav sir, please propose vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. All the respected speakers, principal sirs, coordinator, faculty members, and dear students. It is great honor to propose heartily vote of thanks to most distinguished chief guest of the day, Professor V.K. Agrawal, man of the material science, for delivering such a useful and interesting talk in this webinar. Thank you, sir, for your interesting and thought-provoking address. Professor Agrawal emphasized on clarity of the subjects. He talked on electromagnetic waves, phase angle, coherent radiation, etc. In the last, on behalf of myself, the physics department, Again, I am thanking him from the core of my heart. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mute.
संगीता मैम
Hello?
आप म्यूटेड हैं।
संगीता मैम म्यूटेड हैं।
ओके ओके।
संगीता मैम, इसके पहले कि आप करें, मैं सर से एक सर गए।
I am just leaving. Please forgive me if
Okay.
anything. Tell me. I have some